Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to my video. So I'm putting this video out there as an update on my using a $12 rubber hose from AutoZone to link up two portions of an AC line that I had snipped. So if you guys didn't know, I just want to give you guys a background on my AC issue. Last spring / summer, I started having an AC leak. I had air conditioning up until the spring. It may have been my imagination. It was probably the weather that was keeping it cool when I turned on the fan. But anyway, there was a point where I had no AC. I put in Freon. That lasted for a good week, and then a week or two, and then nothing, and then I put in more Freon with stop leak, and that didn't do anything. I had AC for a week, and then after that, what I did was I used a can of leak detector with red dye. I have a review of that, and there was a leak around the valve area on the low line, on the low side. So I had fixed that and put in some AC, and that didn't hold for a day. And I left it because I didn't actually drive this car that much. I left it, and maybe a month later I tried it again, bought the valve stem, put in the valve stem, and it was still leaking. So moving forward, like last month, I decided to actually just to figure out what the fix is. I was settling on figuring out where it was leaking from and the fix, and I used like at least 6 bottles of AC trying to find out where that leak was, until I stepped to the side and I was hearing a fizzing sound coming from the line in the back, because this car has a rear AC conditioning, so that line extends all the way to the back, and there was a pin-sized hole leak in the AC line, and I used epoxy to try to cover it, and that didn't work. And I'm gonna put out videos on that. And it was a very difficult place to get to. So I might have been able to patch it up with epoxy, I might have been able to done that, but the epoxy job was kind of crappy, but it didn't work. I had maybe like an hour of AC and then nothing. And then I was thinking to myself, what could I do with this, right? There's only a couple of things you could do with this. You could either remove the AC line and put in a new line, or you could weld the hole, because a lot of times when you have a hole in the AC line or any of these lines for like the power steering leak or any of it's just a pin-sized hole that's causing it. Pin-sized hole, probably the weakest point because of rust or whatever. And I was thinking to myself, there's no way I'm going to replace that line, because it extends all the way from under the hood all the way to the back, and there's no way I could find that line. But I'm not going to put in that work. I'm not going to pay for somebody to put in that work to change it up. So I thought to myself, I need to repair this line. There's a hole. And then it came to mind that I could actually do a union, where, if you guys don't know what a union is, it's a little screw-on connection. When you cut one end of the pipe and then the other end of the pipe, and then you get another pipe, and then you use there's a little screw-in connector where you screw it in, and it works for brakes. I've never done it for AC lines. I've done it for power steering on a BMW, and that held up maybe like until the next day, and then it blew because there's just too much pressure there. And then I thought to myself, you know what? Why would I need to buy 2 unions and a metal line when I could actually just use a rubber hose. All right, it's easier. You got rubber hose and 2 clamps on one end, 2 clamps on the another end. You put some monster leak sealant. It's for water, gas, whatever, and it should work. Theoretically, it should work. And I was like 99% sure that it would work, and it's the easiest thing, the easiest solution. So I cut both ends. I used a metal cutter to round out the holes so that they were clean. Put some monster stop leak on the pipes, and then just ran the hose maybe like 3-inch in and clamped it up on both ends. Put some AC R134A in for like, and I put like 2 cans in. I didn't want to overdo it because just in case it leaked. Those cans are like expensive these days. They're like $8.50, $10 with taxes. So I waited for like a week just to make sure that it was all good, and it was all good. It was all good. So I put in another can. So I made 3 cans of Freon, and it's worked awesome. It's worked awesome ever since, and it'll keep on working awesome because that line, you know, rubber lines are used for air, for water, for oils. You can use those rubber lines from one connection to the next, and they'll hold. This rubber line held. It took me 30 minutes for that. It took me 30 minutes for that. I never did that before because I never came across this situation where I had to do it. Last time I had an AC leak was a pin-size hole, and that was welded, and that's held for years. This line's gonna hold for years too, but this guy, like, there's no buts about it. I'm saying a but it took 30 minutes to put in, and I was thinking even if it held for like just over the summer, I would be happy. But this line's gonna hold for years, guys. It's an easy fix. Fix my issue. I have like cold AC right now. You know, I have cold AC right now, so it works. That rubber line works. And on top of that, here's what's great about that. A lot of these lines go from like one weird place to another weird place. It's got a bracket holding it. I didn't even take the old line out because of the obstacles that are in the way of taking the line out. So all I did was cut one line, one point, and then I went all the way to the end, and then cut that point, and that I would say maybe I was like 4 or 5 feet of rubber hose, I think. And that's the great part about it, is that you don't have to try to bend lines from, you know, just to snake it from one spot to the next. That rubber hose, it's a rubber hose. It's flexible. You know, you can connect one part to the next, and it'll work regardless of what weird spot that the hole is in. You could cut that line anywhere. You can cut that line anywhere from the compressor, and then you can connect it all the way down the line of where the line is good at, wherever you want. So if you guys have an AC leak, you guys have this problem, definitely help yourself out and solve this problem with the easiest thing you can do. It's the easiest fix ever. That fix, if I had to take this truck to a dealership or a shop for that fix, I'll tell you guys, at the dealership, that fix would have been like $2,000. At the shops, they would have charged me maybe like $1,200, something like that, for that fix. It cost me $12 in 30 minutes. $12 in 30 minutes. So, matter of fact, even if you can't, you know what? I'm not gonna go there. But if you guys have this situation, you know, try that out. Try that out. And guys have any comments? Definitely leave a comment in the comment section. Please subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. All that good stuff. All right, guys? Take care.